Welcome to the A Train Sports Talk live stream, the show simply known as The Ride. Why do we call it The Ride? Because we do just that. We take you on a ride. And I know it has been a moment. Trust me, things have happened. Some long highway trips and some other obligations in between, but I'm back with you today. And man, I have to say, these headphones sound real nice. Anyway, it is playoff fever. And I know for a fact that there were some games last night, but I am going to do my level best to bring you up to speed. So you might see another stream tomorrow. My itinerary is to bring you up to speed as to what took place last Friday on today's show. I did it on my audio version yesterday. Of course, it's not on Spotify. It's on iHeart, Amazon Music. Uh, those are the two I know about right now. So today, as I'm streaming, and I'm streaming from the Riverside.fm platform. However, it's also streaming on Twitch.tv, also on YouTube, and then this show will be podcast later. That way, you can either listen to it or watch it, whatever you want to do, whatever your preference is. Uh, but I did the show yesterday. Like I said, it was the audio version, no streaming. I'm streaming today. And I know games will be getting kicked off approximately 7 o'clock. Uh, First of all, I want to say congrats to Cape and Mount Carmel on winning the Greater Wichita Athletic League regular season title. Uh, Also, congrats to Wichita Northwest on having a very fine season. They finally got that Manhattan team off their back. I mean, they pulled that game out in dominating fashion to get that off the record because Manhattan has been a thorn in their side the past year, maybe two. And that was a game that they needed due to the fact they know within themselves, barring the injuries, and they're not going to use that as an excuse when they lost that game to Capen in the fashion in which they lost it to because they had Capen down 28-0. But that's what you get when you face a Western Sharks team who also suffered a loss, but they didn't do it into their rankings because they're still ranked number one in Class 4A. So, as far as the area schools, uh, I'm not going to say I have a fan favorite, but I am wishing the area schools the best of luck in their run to state, which would be Cape and Mount Carmel, Wichita Northwest. And I got to say Mays because they're on the outskirts of town. But yes, uh, the Wichita City League, Greater Wichita Athletic League, was good about having state champions in 6A, and it's been a long drought. So we're hoping that those area schools can bring a trophy back to the area. However, the show I did yesterday, I was giving you a recap of the ranked teams, and I did classes 6A, 5A, 4A, and I do believe I did 3A as well too. But I'm gonna go ahead and start again with 3A on the video stream, let you know what took place. It is the top five teams. Also, before I get too far, I want to say congratulations to Wichita Southeast Golden Buffaloes, who have discovered that winning magic. I'm pretty sure the one outside of the school there expected what they got from them, but they did the thing. That's all you can say. They proved a lot of naysayers wrong, and they believed in themselves. I can't think of who they were playing against. It might have been a Topeka school, but it was a game that they won the game 6-0, and I think that was their turning point. Yes, they lost to the upper schools in the G Wall, but hey, they handled business against the teams that they know they should have been handling business against, and probably beat some teams that no one probably thought they would beat. So Congrats to Southeast on a great season. I wish you guys also the best of luck. Uh, they take on Wichita Heights tonight in a playoff round. Uh, now it is time because win and you advance, lose and your season is officially over. So that's how things look. But I want to take a look at the top five ranked teams in Class 3A. Uh, Number one team, no doubt. Last week they shut out Heston 57-0. We're talking about those Indians in Andale. They captured the district championship by routing Heston 57-0. Indians led 22-0 after the first quarter and added 35 more points in the second quarter. Both of Lane Parthimer's carries went for touchdowns. Get this, covering 146 yards. Both, as in two, only two carries. That's right, two carries, covering 146 yards. Sam Harp also carried 9 times for 97 yards and a touchdown. Noah Stanley, Drayton Dancel, and Jack Horsch each rushed for touchdowns. Harp also passed for 119 yards and two scores, one each to Hunter Grimes and Afton Allaire. So that's your number one team, Class 3A, with an 8-0 record. They will be taking on 16 seed Chapman, who comes in with a 1-7 record. Next up, number two, Topeka Hayden. I believe this was the championship game last year in Class 3A, and I'm pretty sure Topeka Hayden would love to square off against Andale again. They took on Jefferson West and turned this showdown into a lopsided affair in defeating Jefferson West 42-0. Connor Hanukkah tossed an early touchdown pass to Jack McGivern, and it turns out that is all the points the Wildcats would need. Jude Krentz added a pair of rushing scores for Hayden. Hanukkah threw 3 touchdown passes on the night, with the other two going to Xavier Blassing and Logan Power. They will take on 2-6, 16 seed Columbus. However, here's a third team that is still undefeated, and that would be Holcomb coming in at number 3 in Class 3A. And they rolled to a 55-14 win over Southwestern Heights in a non-district game. Longhorns had already wrapped up the District 8 championship the week prior. Cooper Cranston carried only once for a 47-yard touchdown. Chasen Costner added 47 yards and a touchdown. Ken Prieto carried the ball 19 times for 144 yards and 3 scores, while freshman Evan Valencia added 106 yards and a score on 7 attempts. Holcomb, the 3 seed, will take on 14 seed Colby. Longhorns defeated their GWAC rivals 53-24 back in week number 5. So it's not like these teams don't know each other. So both teams will be very familiar with what each team is doing. The question is, which team can stop the other team from doing what they know the other team does? As if that's not enough, we have another 8-0 team. Number 4, Rock Creek. Rock Creek scored 3 touchdowns in the first quarter, enrolling to a 56-12 win over Chapman. Mustangs led 35-6 at halftime. Quarterback Tate Smith passed for 220 yards and 4 touchdowns, including 2 to Jacob Perkins, Ethan Tonser, and Peter Martini. Each caught scoring passes from Smith. Zion Bell rushed 16 times for 146 yards and 2 scores, while Luke Smith added 71 yards and a score on the ground. They will take on 15 seed 3 and 5 Smoky Valley. Guess what? Rounding out the top 5, guess what their record is? Yep, you guessed it. 8-0. Santa Fe Trail closed out an unbeaten regular season with a 54-13 rout of Bishop Ward. The Chargers and Cyclones were tied 7-7 after the first quarter. Santa Fe Trail scored 3 times before halftime to lead 27-7. The Chargers added 2 more scores each in the third and fourth quarters. Santa Fe Trail will host Perry LeCompton in the first round of 3A playoffs. Perry LeCompton comes in with a 2-6 record and a 15 seed. So there's a look at your top 5 in Class 3A. And now what we are going to do, we are going to make our transition into 2A. So let's take a look at 2A. Coming in at number 1, and this should be of no surprise, they are the defending 2A champions with a 9-0 record. Southeast of Saline rolled past Ellsworth 53-12. Trojans have won 21 straight games and finished as District 6 champions. Southeast Saline and Nemaha Central are the only two 8-0 teams in the classification, while Hoisington 7-0 is the only undefeated team. Southeast Saline led Ellsworth 16-6 at halftime and 32-12 after 3 quarters before scoring 3 times in the fourth quarter. Grady Gabhart rushed 20 times, 234 yards, and 4 touchdowns. That kid is amazing. The numbers he is putting up, and I'm definitely going to reach out to him again and get him on my show. He is someone I believe will make a good interview and will have a lot of insight. Timon Pachek, I believe that's how it's pronounced. Ptacek. I do mess these names up sometimes. Passed for 105 yards and 2 touchdowns, one each to Amarion Holub and Bryson Leipold. Southeast of Saline will be taking on 16 seed 2-6 Southwestern Heights. And these games, by the way, are tonight. So just want to let you know about these games. Number 2 team, Nemaha Central, also 9-0. Nemaha Central won District 4 and finished the regular season 8-0. Thunder rolled over Atchison County 61-0, scoring 61 points in honor of teammate Daniel Childress, who is undergoing treatment at St. Jude's in Tennessee for a brain tumor. Nemaha Central celebrated senior night with Childress' family. Childress' father, Mike, serving as honorary captain. Carter Hajek scored 9 times, carried 9 times for 186 yards and 4 touchdowns. Jaden Seitz added 133 yards and 2 scores for the Thunder. They will take on 1-7 16 seed West Franklin. Also want to say, in regards to your teammate, Daniel Childress, prayers is going out to you and the family. We pray God's blessings and healing upon this family. Coming in number 3 at 7-0, Hoisington topped Cimarron 42-22 to win District 8 and finished the regular season 7-0. C.J. Bryant rushed for a pair of touchdowns and caught a long touchdown pass from Mason Martin for the Cardinals. Martin threw two touchdown passes, the others to Brody Faunenstiel and Taylor Morales led the ground game with 107 yards. The Cardinals had lost four regular season games last year en route to a 65 season. Houston has four perfect regular seasons in the last 7 years. They will take on 2 and 6 15 seed Halstead. Number 14 with the 71 record, Osage City. Osage City topped Riley County 27-8 to finish as the District 3 runner-up behind Silver Lake. Indians are one of four 71 squads in Class 2A. Osage City scored in each quarter in beating the Falcons. Quentin Stark threw a touchdown pass, and Reed Silver passed for 98 yards and two scores as the Indians continue to play without Cason Parsons. Dylan Theo rushed for 140 yards and a touchdown, including an 83-yard scoring burst. And tonight they will be taking on 11 seed Royal Valley, who comes in with a 3-5 record. And the number 5 team in 2A, Garden Plain at 8-1. Garden Plain grinded out a 23-6 victory over Clearwater on a Thursday night in a non-district game. Owls had already won District 5 with a 7-1 4-0 district record. Emmerich Hayes rushed for 93 yards and two touchdowns for the Owls. Eli Eck added 71 yards on the ground for Garden Plain. Carter Baker got the Garden Plain defense on the board by returning a fumble for a touchdown. Garden Plain earns the number 3 seed and will face Central Plains. So it's going to be a battle of the Plains. Or will face Central Plains League rival Douglas. My fault. Got ahead of myself there. So let me do that again. Garden Plain earns the 3 seed and will face Central Plains League rival Douglas. The Owls defeated Douglas 49-0 back in week 7. So Douglas has a little bit of revenge on their mind. Can they get it? Can they make the game competitive? Can they overcome what was the last game back in week 7, 49-0? Douglas is the 14 seed. So there are your top 5 from 2A. So now we are going to make this transition into class 1A because we're slowly working our way to 8-man Division 1, 8-man Division 2, and also 6-man. So let's just take a look at 1A. And in 1A, looks like this. Your number 1 team is Jackson Heights. With a perfect 8-0 record, Jackson Heights dominated Jefferson County North by the score of 53-0 in a matchup of undefeated teams. Cobras claimed the Northeast Kansas League title and the District 3 championship with the victory. Jackson Heights quickly turned the showdown into a rout with a one-play 38-yard touchdown run by Drake Mellies. Jackson Heights then recovered a fumble on the ensuing kickoff and scored. Mellies passed for 102 yards and the score and added 220 yards rushing and 5 touchdowns on 15 attempts. Sound like this kid is a Swiss Army knife and all do everything on offense, throw it and run it. They will be taking on 15 seed Southeast Cherokee, who comes in with a 3-5 record. Number 2 team, Sterling 8-0. Knocked off Hutchinson Trinity by the score of 34-12. Sterling won the District 7 championship and continued the best season since the late 1980s. Black Bears defeated Hutchinson Trinity 34-12. Sterling outscored the Celtics 20-0 in the second half in the game. Zane Farney rushed for 118 yards and a score, while Wyatt Newberry added 78 yards and 2 touchdowns. Logan Isaac added 104 yards rushing on 8 attempts and scored 2 times. Up next for Sterling is 1-7 16 seed Harrington. Number 3 team with the 7-1 record, Rossville. Rossville won District 2 in a quality district that had 4 teams finish at 500 or better. The Bulldogs beat Wabansie 49-6. Connor Bush and Kanan Mitchell each rushed for 2 touchdowns, with Bush rushing for a team high 108 yards on 8 carries. Jack Donovan and Landon Lewis each added a rushing score. Rossville is the 4 seed and will play 13 seed Mission Valley. Bulldogs defeated Mission Valley 55-6 back in week 5. And Mission Valley comes in with a 4-4 record. Number 14, we've heard of them on numerous occasions. They're always in the headlines, making a name for themselves on the playing field. St. Mary's Colgan, record 9-0. Colgan celebrated senior night by defeating Southeast Cherokee 61-7. Clayton Adamson scored 6 touchdowns on the night. The Panthers welcome back running back Lane Stokes and quarterback Karsten Simmons, both of which have been out since early in the season due to injury. Both Stokes and Simmons scored touchdowns. Colgan dominated District 1 and finished with a perfect regular season. It marked Colgan's second perfect regular season since 2011. And they will take on 16 seed with 2-6 record, Donovan West. And the number 5 team, record 9-0, Smith Center, a perennial traditional power, rolled over Syracuse 70-0. The Redmen led 35-0 after the first quarter and 63-0 at halftime. Smith Center won District 8 and posted an 8-0 record. It is Smith Center's first perfect regular season since 2019, and they will be taking on the 15 seed Whitewater Remington, who comes in with a 2-6 record. Now we focus our attention on 8-man Division 1. The number 1 team, South Central, with an 8-0 record, beat previously unbeaten Oxford 66-20. South Central rolled over Oxford 66-20 in a matchup of undefeated teams to win the District 5 championship. Easton Hook rushed 25 times for 246 yards and 4 touchdowns to lead the Timberwolves. Jack Hurd added 51 yards on the ground with 2 scores. Hurd registered 13 tackles, 3 for loss, and 3 sacks. Coda Lindsay and Parker Price each returned interceptions for touchdowns, while Price also returned a punt for a score. They will take on 1-6 Spearville. Number 2, Waukene Trego, the 9-0 record. They last shut out Quinter 50-0. Waukene Trego topped Quinter 50-0 to win District 7 crown and post an undefeated regular season. Ashton Wynn passed for 83 yards and 4 touchdowns in the game. Freshman Valandon Crawford caught 2 touchdown passes, and Aaron Sampson and Cass Smith each caught a scoring pass. Wynn also rushed for a pair of touchdowns. The Golden Eagles are 8-0 and doubled last season's win total. Another victory gives Wakini its most victories since a 10-2 season in 2002. That is the lone double-digit winning season since 1990, and they will take on 5-3 St. Francis. Number 3 team, El Saline, comes in with an 8-1 record. El Saline captured the District 3 title, defeating Central Plains by the score of 36-6. The Cardinals finished the regular season at 7-1, 5-0. That district included Little River, 7-1, 4-1, and Central Plains, 5-3, 3-2. El Saline led Central Plains 12-0 at halftime before pulling away with a pair of third quarter scores. Reese Chrome passed for 139 yards and 3 touchdowns while adding a pair of rushing scores. Colin Dent caught 2 touchdown passes from Crone, with Trey Williams grabbing the other. Cass Kramer rushed for 139 yards to face the Cardinal ground game. Up next for them will be 3-5 Washington. Number 14, coming in with the 8-0 record, Linden would be Linden High School, who in their last game rolled past Northern Heights 52-6. Linden routed Northwestern Heights 52-6 to finish the regular season at 7-0. Tigers have only allowed 12 points in their last 4 games, roughly 3 points a game. When you do the math, 3 points a game. Lucas Griffin and James Marcotti continue to lead the Tigers' offense. Linden will host Northeast Arma in the first round of the playoffs. And I can tell you right now that Armour is just right outside of Pittsburgh, Kansas. And the number 5 team, Little River, coming in at 8-1, beat Solomon 72-0. That's right. Little River rolled to a 72-0 shutout of Solomon on Thursday night. As a result, the Redskins moved back into the polls and replaced Lincoln as the number 5 team. Little River scored 44 points first quarter. Jackson Conan completed 5 passes, and 4 of those went for touchdowns. C.J. Herzog caught 2 scoring passes, and Tristan Bristow and Jet Ewart each had 1 touchdown catch. Logan Schubert and Easton Waltz each rushed for 2 touchdowns. They will be taking on 6-2 Clifton Clyde. And that is a look at your top 5 teams in 8-man Division 1. And I'm looking at some of these teams in here that's considered receiving votes. And I noticed that my good friend out there in Oswego, Coach Matt Fowler, his team is listed with others considered. So I see he has that program still going at a high level, got some very talented individuals. Had him on my show, as a matter of fact. We talked about a couple of young brothers that he had on his team, some brothers that were adopted by a family there, and how they are good model citizens in the community, how the school love them, the people of the town love them. So we wish Oswego and Coach Matt Fowler nothing but the best in their playoff journey. So that was 8-man Division 1. Now we go to 8-man Division 2. And the top 2 teams should be no surprise based off some of the results. 9-0 Hanover comes in at number 1. Hanover topped Lynn 52-12 and won District 3 to finish the regular season 8-0, 4-0. Hanover has wins against Division Two, number two Axtell, and Division One, number three El Saline. Those squads are a combined are a combined 16-0 when not facing Hanover. Lynn and Hanover are in the same district, same school district, and Lynn won its district title. Lynn is 5-2 when not playing Hanover. Up next for Hanover is 3-4 Osborne. Coming in number two at 8-1 Axtell. Their last outing, they beat Frankfort. Axtell bounced back after its Kansas 8-man record 58 game winning streak ended with a 60-14 victory over Twin Valley League rival Frankfort. The Eagles finished as the District 3 runner up with a 7-1, 3-1 record. Axtell led Franklin 38-14 at halftime before ending the contest with 22 points in the third quarter. Wyatt Detweller rushed 15 times for 118 yards and three scores. Detweller completed all six of his passes for 75 yards and a touchdown that went to Landon Schmitz. Up next, Beloit St. John's Tipton with a 4-4 record. The number three team with an 8-0 record, Victoria. Their last game out, they beat number four Hodgman County by the score of 28-14. Victoria held off Hodgman County 28-14 and won District 6. Victoria posted a 7-0, 4-0 record in District 6. Head coach Hodgman County, sorry about that. I seen HC and just automatically went to head coach. HC, which is Hodgman County, finished 7-1, 3-1. The game turned when Victoria had a goal line stand and then went 79 yards. Weston Scherner rushed for three touchdowns in the contest. Up next for Victoria is 1-7 Norwich. Number 14, Hutchinson Central Christian with the 9-0 record. Shut out Norwich 56-0. That's right. Hutchinson Central Christian posted an unbeaten 8-0, 4-0 in District 5 and won the district. Central Christian beat Norwich 56-0. Pearson Huff rushed for 161 yards and four touchdowns in the game to push his season totals to 1,034 yards and 22 touchdowns. Central Christian will host Stafford to open the playoffs. The Cougars defeated Stafford 62-0 back in week 3. And the number 5 team, Hodgman County, 8-1, lost to number 3 Victoria 28-14. Hodgman County finished as runner-up to Victoria after a close 28-14 road loss. And I know that sounds strange to say, lost a close game, but in 8-man, that would be considered close. A 28-14 road loss to Victoria. Hodgman County took the lead first on an Ian Reese scoring run. Gavin Reese threw a touchdown pass to Tyson Younger for the Longhorns' other score. Hodgman County posted a 7-1 record, 3-1 in District 6, and will take on 4-4 Fairfield. So there's 8-man Division 1, 8-man Division 2. Now we turn our attention to 6-man. Number 1 team in 6-man is Weskin with a 7-1 record. Weskin won District 4 with a 7-1, 5-0 mark in District 4. Weskin has won 7 consecutive games, all against Kansas teams after a season opening loss to Colorado Power Otis. Weskin beat Tri-Plains Brewster 64-6. Nick Cottrell passed for 211 yards and 4 touchdowns. Carson Wright caught 3 passes for 132 yards and 2 scores and added 87 rush yards and 2 touchdowns. And because of that, they drew a first round bye. Number 2, Cunningham, 8-1. Cunningham rolled over Tescott 58-12 and won the District 2 championship. Cunningham finished with wins by 45 points against current number 3 South Barber and number 5 Tescott. They too have also drawn a first round bye. Number 3 South Barber 7-1. South Barber dominated Rolla by the score of 79-0 to close out the regular season. South Barber won District 3 and finished 7-1, 4-0. The Sheftons have won 7 straight since the season opening loss to Ingalls. In the win over Rolla, the Sheftons scored 65 points in the first quarter. Austin Swanger threw 3 touchdown passes to Garen Cantrell. Swanger and Cantrell each added a rushing score. They too have a first round bye. Number 4 team is Ingalls at 7-1. Ingalls defeated Pawnee Heights 56-6. The Bulldogs finished as the District 3 runner-up to South Barber with a 7-1, 4-0 record. Daniel Steinmetz rushed 17 times for 204 yards and 3 touchdowns in the win over Pawnee Heights. Logan Simon added 135 yards through the air with 2 touchdowns. Also, first round bye. And the number 5 team with the 6-2 record, Tescott, lost to number 2 Cunningham 58-12. Tescott lost to Cunningham 58-12 and finished as the District 2 runner-up at 6-2, 2-1. The Trojans reached the state semifinals last season before falling to Cunningham 54-8, and they too have a first round bye. So there you have it. I gave you 3A all the way to 6-man, the top 5 in each classification, and who they will be playing. It is my hopes tomorrow to do this show a little bit earlier in the morning, to do a scoreboard show, look at the brackets, because the brackets are out. Just that time won't permit me to go through the brackets. But hopefully tomorrow we will have a scoreboard show, give you the brackets, who's moved on, and also we're going to take a look at the KCAC. There's one team that we can say is definitely on fire. It seems like the only thing that can get in the way of them is them themselves. Talking about Friends University, that offensive juggernaut that they have, playing 2 back-to-back games that I know really tested them. Had the opportunity to go to the McPherson game, which was Friends' homecoming game, and I can honestly say the dogs came barking from McPherson, jumped out on top of Friends early. But Friends fought their way back and rolled to victory. But we'll talk more about that in depth on the show tomorrow. So until tomorrow, I want you to keep those reusable train ride tickets because the ride is always free. We will be back with you tomorrow, probably looking at about maybe 9 o'clock. So those of you who are also watching the live feed or have the video stream, tune in. If you have twitch.tv and you follow the channel, tune in. We'll be live tomorrow with the scoreboard show. We will also have the brackets. That way we can further let you know what teams moved on. Like I said, I know we're here in the Wichita area tonight. It's Wichita Northwest against Hayesville campus. Also, Heights will be traveling out to Southeast. A game of intrigue to me, though, is going to be a return game as Wichita East, who was just in Dodge City last week, will be in Dodge City again this week. Dodge City knows that they were in for a game last week, and I just believe that the pressure is more on Dodge City than it is on Wichita East, and that could make for a very dangerous setup. So I may get in trouble for doing this, but I'm going to go out on a limb and make a prediction that East tie tonight, that East tie, they know what it takes to get over that hump. They played the game against the same team. They watched the game film. And East tie players, especially those seniors, they know the season has been not what they expected it, but they can make it right. So East tie goes back on the road, and I believe East tie comes back with a victory in Dodge City. So until tomorrow, hopefully my score predictor is right. Take care of yourself, each other. I'm out of here.